If you feel mentally cloudy and tired, it's easy to assume something is wrong with you. But in many cases, brain fog and low energy come from a few repeatable daily triggers. The tricky part is that they stack. One small issue might be fine, but 3 or 4 together can make you feel like your brain is moving through mud. In this video, I'll walk you through the most common everyday causes. Not scary, not exotic, just the patterns that quietly drain your focus. We'll cover sleep timing, blood sugar swings, dehydration, stress load, and even how your environment can tax your attention. The goal is simple. By the end, you should be able to pinpoint your top 1 or 2 triggers. Then you can test small changes and see what actually helps you feel clearer. Think of this as a personal troubleshooting guide. Let's start with the most overlooked piece: sleep that looks fine on paper. Moving to slide 2. First trigger: sleep quantity versus sleep quality. You can get 7 or 8 hours and still wake up foggy if your sleep is fragmented. Common reasons include inconsistent bed and wake times, late night light exposure, or waking briefly without remembering it. Another big one is sleeping at the wrong time for your body clock. If your schedule forces you to sleep out of sync with your natural rhythm, your brain can feel jet-lagged even at home. Also, watch the last hour before bed. Heavy meals, alcohol, or intense scrolling can keep your nervous system more alert than you realize. And if you snore loudly, wake with a dry mouth, or feel sleepy despite enough hours, that can be a sign your sleep isn't refreshing. The practical takeaway is to treat sleep like a system, not just a number. Consistency and wind down matter as much as duration for mental clarity. Moving to slide 3. Second trigger: blood sugar swings. You don't need diabetes to feel this. A breakfast that's mostly refined carbs can spike your blood sugar, then drop it a couple hours later. That drop often feels like brain fog, irritability, and a heavy need for caffeine or snacks. The same thing can happen after a big sugary coffee drink, a pastry, or even a healthy smoothie that's mostly fruit juice. On the flip side, skipping meals can also backfire for some people. If you go too long without eating, your stress hormones rise to keep you going, and that can feel like wired but tired fog. A simple stabilizer is combining protein, fiber, and some fat, so energy releases more steadily. The point is not perfection. It's noticing whether your worst fog lines up with predictable peaks and crashes during your day. Moving to slide 4. Third trigger: dehydration and electrolytes. Even mild dehydration can reduce alertness and make concentration feel harder. Many people think they're hydrated because they drink coffee, tea, or flavored drinks, but total fluid and salt balance still matters. If you wake up and go straight into caffeine without water, you can start the day behind. Another clue is headaches, dry lips, or feeling tired in the afternoon for no obvious reason. Also consider sweating. Hot weather, workouts, saunas, or even a very warm office can increase fluid needs. And if you drink a lot of plain water but avoid salt completely, some people feel washed out or lightheaded. The takeaway is to think in terms of hydration plus minerals, not just chugging water. A steady baseline often improves mental sharpness more than people expect. Moving to slide 5. Fourth trigger: caffeine timing and tolerance. Caffeine can be helpful, but it's also easy to misuse. If you rely on caffeine to turn on every morning, you may be masking poor sleep or a crash-prone breakfast. Timing matters too. Caffeine late in the day can reduce sleep quality, even if you fall asleep easily, and that sets up tomorrow's fog. Another issue is the roller coaster pattern: big dose early, then a slump, then another dose. That can feel like focus that comes in short bursts instead of steady clarity. Some people also get anxious or jittery, which the brain interprets as stress, not productivity. A useful experiment is to track when you drink caffeine and when fog hits. Often the pattern becomes obvious within a week. Moving to slide 6. Fifth trigger: chronic stress and cognitive overload. Stress isn't only big life events. It's also constant notifications, multitasking, and never giving your brain a clean stop. When stress hormones stay elevated, your attention narrows. You can feel busy but not effective. That's a classic brain fog experience. Lots of effort, little output. Another piece is decision fatigue. If your day is full of small choices, your mental energy gets spent before the important work begins. And if you're anxious, your brain may keep scanning for problems, which is exhausting. The The takeaway is that low energy isn't always a fuel problem. Sometimes it's a bandwidth problem. Reducing inputs, batching tasks, and building short recovery breaks can restore clarity without changing anything else. Moving to slide 7. Sixth trigger: indoor air, CO2, and ventilation. This one surprises people because it feels invisible. In poorly ventilated rooms, carbon dioxide levels rise, and studies link higher indoor CO2 with worse cognitive performance. You might notice it as sleepiness, dull headaches, or that stale feeling in your head. It can happen in home offices, bedrooms with closed doors, or meeting rooms. Allergens can also contribute. Dust, mold, or pet dander can drive low-grade inflammation and congestion, which can make your brain feel slower. The key idea is that your brain runs on oxygen and calm breathing. If the air is stale, your focus can drop even if everything else is perfect. Simple ventilation habits, like opening windows when possible, can be a meaningful experiment for persistent afternoon fog. Moving to slide 8. Seventh trigger: movement patterns, especially long sitting. Your brain depends on steady blood flow and oxygen delivery. When you sit still for hours, circulation and alertness can dip, and your posture can subtly restrict breathing. The result can feel like mental heaviness, not just a stiff back. Another issue is that many people get their movement in one intense workout, then stay sedentary the rest of the day. That's great for fitness, but it doesn't fully solve the all-day energy problem. Short movement snacks, standing, walking, light mobility, can act like a reset button for attention. Also, daylight exposure combined with movement can help your body clock, which feeds back into better sleep and clearer mornings. The takeaway is simple: consistent low-intensity movement supports consistent mental energy. Moving to slide 9. Eighth trigger: nutrient gaps and undereating, especially protein and iron-related nutrients. If you're consistently underfueling, your body prioritizes survival basics and trims luxury functions like sharp focus. Low protein can also mean you feel full briefly, then snack constantly without feeling satisfied. Iron status is another common factor, particularly for people who menstruate, donate blood, or eat very little red meat. Low iron stores can show up as fatigue, poor exercise tolerance, and brain fog. B12 and vitamin D are also frequently discussed in research and clinical practice, especially with limited sun exposure or restrictive diets. The point here is not to self-diagnose. It's to recognize that persistent low energy can be a nutrition signal, and it may be worth discussing labs with a clinician if symptoms don't improve with basic lifestyle fixes. Moving to slide 10. Ninth trigger: sleep-disrupting habits that don't feel like bad sleep. The big ones are alcohol, late heavy meals, and late-night stress. Alcohol can make you fall asleep faster, but studies show it can reduce deep sleep and increase awakenings later in the night. Heavy meals close to bedtime can raise body temperature and digestion workload, which can fragment sleep. And if you do work or have tense conversations late at night, your nervous system may stay activated even after you put the phone down. Another subtle one is temperature. Many people sleep better in a slightly cooler room. If you wake up hot, restless, or with vivid dreams, it can be a clue your sleep architecture is off. The takeaway is that "I slept 8 hours" isn't the full story if the night wasn't physiologically restful. Moving to slide 11. 10th trigger: information overload and constant context switching. Your brain pays a cost every time you jump between email, messages, tabs, and tasks. That cost shows up as mental friction, slower thinking, and the feeling that you can't hold ideas in your head. Over time, it can feel like brain fog, even if your body has energy. Another factor is dopamine-driven checking. If you train your brain to expect novelty every few seconds, deep focus starts to feel uncomfortable. Then you interpret that discomfort as fatigue. A practical approach is to create focus blocks where you do one thing and you remove the easiest distractions. Even 25 minutes can help. The takeaway is that brain fog can be a workflow problem, not just a biology problem. Moving to slide 12. Now let's turn this into a simple troubleshooting plan. First, pick your top 2 suspects based on timing. Morning fog often points to sleep quality, late caffeine, or hydration. Post-lunch fog often points to meal composition, portion size, or sitting too long. Random fog spikes can point to stress load, context switching, or indoor air. Second, change one variable for 7 days, not 5 things at once, because then you won't know what worked. Third, track one outcome. For example, rate your mental clarity from 1 to 10 at 3 set times each day. If you see a consistent improvement, you found leverage. If you don't, you move to the next suspect. This is how you make the problem smaller and more solvable. And if your fatigue is severe, sudden, or comes with other concerning symptoms, that's a reason to speak with a healthcare professional. Moving to slide 13. Let's wrap it up. Brain fog and low energy are often the result of a few daily inputs: unrefreshing sleep, blood sugar crashes, dehydration, stress overload, poor ventilation, long sitting, and attention fragmentation. The win is that many of these are testable without overhauling your life. Start with the easiest lever: consistent sleep timing, a more balanced first meal, water earlier in the day, or short movement breaks. Then build from there based on what your body actually responds to. If you want to keep learning, I'd love for you to subscribe for more practical breakdowns like this. And for a quick self-audit, leave a comment with your biggest trigger: A, sleep, or B, food and caffeine. This information is not a substitute for medical advice.